Hey guys, welcome back. It's Gojir here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be playing Total War Warhammer. It's just going to be a real quick battle. I'll be playing Henrik Kemmler today. He is probably one of the worst lords for the vampire counts that you can choose right now, due to him not being able to mount, and him having relatively weak melee stats, and nothing particularly cool about him besides some few abilities that really aren't that amazing. However, I do want to kind of try him out, so I brought a really kooky build and just decided to hell with it. We're just gonna kick some butt with Kemmler today. Um, and here it is. I'm playing Mr. Meows. His name was. It doesn't show his name on the replay, but I believe that's what his name was. He bought a very heavy infantry build. Let's just go over his build first. He bought 2 Goblin Wolf Riders, a really cheap, shitty, but extremely fast cavalry. They're not really meant to do any damage to anything besides skirmishers and artillery crews and stuff like that. He bought a large line of, there's some orc boys in here. So 2 orc boys, like 4 big guns and 4 black orcs. Black orcs are armor piercing, 90 in a unit, heavy melee. They have pretty high armor but no shield, so they will take damage from missiles and stuff. All the big guns have sorry guys, something going on. Big guns have bonus versus large. He has 2 goblin big bosses. He's lagging one behind. These guys are just to protect the lord, and they inspire nearby troops. And he has a orc war boss on a boar. He brought all 3 potions, which is interesting, and the Wog ability, which is always good. Gives that plus 58 attack. So my army is a little bit weird. I got 3 skeleton warriors making up my front line. The Tithe, the rather unimpressive Regiment of Renown zombie unit. 2 crypt horrors backing this line up, and then the very back line is the Grave Guard. 2 of those is regular, not great weapons with armor piercing, and then the Sternsmen, who have regeneration and a bonus versus infantry, and they're really tanky. They're really good for long, drawn-out engagements, which the vampires like to make. So, for my 3 kind of special units here, I got the Blood Knights to fend off any anti-large, which he didn't really bring this game, besides the 4 Goblin Wolf Riders. The Mortis Engine, which plays that kind of attrition game that vampires really theme into. It gives my guys health. I don't know what the rate is, but it also takes health away from the enemies in a radius. I don't know how long that radius is. It is 40 meters. Devils of Schwarzhofen, these guys are pretty much what makes this army crap usually. You don't want to spend your money on these guys because they will get shredded by pretty much any missile troops. They have no armor piercing. They're really bad against anything else in the air that is quality. And they're not particularly great in a long drawn out melee fight either, because they're low armor and their defense isn't particularly great. It isn't the worst, but it's usually just that armor. They can just get shredded so easily, and anti-large will chew them up as well. But they are good at causing terror. They're pretty mobile. They can go around the map pretty fast, and they're really good at getting rear charges. That's pretty much my little derpy army. He's going to send out some Goblin Wolf Riders. He has no missile units, so he can't really punish me going gung-ho with stuff. Gonna pull these Goblin Wolf Riders probably in the hope to bring these Orc boys into the rescue. But Goblin Wolf Riders will pretty much die fairly easy to anything. that is of quality. Even if he brings in these orc boys, that's interesting. I think he just fell over on him by himself. Gonna charge in the Blood Knights to just finish him off. He's gonna charge back in with these Goblin Wolf Riders to try to keep my guys down, tie him up, but it's not really gonna work. Goblin Wolf Riders just do too much damage. Too much. Yes, they're so OP. They do too little damage and have too little mass to hang up the Vargheists or my Blood Knights. I'm gonna send the Tithe into the main line to just soak up that delicious damage. Charge in my skeletons. They're gonna catch up on some of these Orc big guns, but I'm gonna centralize on this main point to try to terrify and just wrap up this middle as fast as possible. Because with vampires you can kind of blob up and then support yourself with raised dead around you. I'm gonna be flanking around with these Vargheists, looking for some juicy rear charges. My Blood Knights are circling around. His Goblin Wolf Riders are going out very wide for no reason whatsoever. He is fighting. I don't believe he's targeting my oh god, the carnage. His heroes are not targeting my Mortis Engine or my Lord right now, so they're being thoroughly wasted here. They're just doing some damage to some Graveguard and skeletons, which will sit there for a while, whilst my Lord and Banshee are chewing on some Orc big guns. And pretty much this is almost exactly the situation I'd like. It is a little hard because those Orc big guns will be doing damage to my Vargheists, decent damage every time I come in, but I'll be able to terrify them with the combination of the Mortis Engine, the Banshee, and the rear charging Vargheist will be able to terrify and do some really good damage to pretty much anything. Some of my Crypt Horrors are taking some damage. They are getting healed though. They really need their meat shield skeletons in front in order to take that damage for them, so they don't get chewed apart and can deal their armor piercing damage right back. I should be summoning zombies just to tie up these black orcs from coming in and flanking, just getting more punishing rear charges with these Vargheists. This is what you want with the Vargheists, because they're not really meant for anti-lards. They're really anti-infantry troops, and they're just good at racking up. See how many? 45? It's not that bad against big guns and black orcs. Not that bad at all. I'm going to be sending back my Mortis Engine because it kind of strayed. I think it was chasing a Goblin Big Boss or some routing troops. It's going to be coming back into the carnage. And look, all these black orcs are just getting held up by a few measly zombies. So you need to either move through or move around, because you don't want to let this blob just go straight into your main line. My Vargheists are going to get a nice charge on these black orcs. They won't do a lot of damage, but they'll do some. They'll definitely do some morale damage here. He forgot his Goblin Big Boss again. He probably routed and came back without him noticing. Now his Lord is routing. Orc war bosses aren't particularly great. I would have chosen Grimgor for this type of army. Grimgor is much more tanky and deals a lot more damage. The war boss, I don't know what he died from. He might have been engaging the Mortis Engine and the Crypt Horrors. This is just going to be carnage. So let's kind of watch this bloody mess. So he is starting to rout. These Vargheists are chewing on his general. His general came back, but I'm going to make sure he runs away for good. He's charging some wolf riders into the zombies and such. They're really just probably going to rout immediately as they come in. So I'm getting it sort of wrapped up. These Blood Knights have been dealing pretty nice rear charges, but the Black Orcs are pretty defensible against cavalry. It is surprising how much damage they can withtake from those Blood Knights. I sent the Blood Knights kind of in here to get the healing off. Should be pulling them out soon so they don't get swarmed by these black orcs. And the Devil Schwarzhofen should be coming back, but I think it's should be mass route time. Classic Total Warhammer with their mass routes. GG to Mr. Meows. I definitely think the army composition was the killer on this one. Also, yeah, I was just not great. I kind of got lucky on this one, guys, because this army was not the best. Vargeists can have their uses. They're probably best used against Orcs or Chaos just because of their melee-centric builds, so you don't have to fear too much for those gunners or really damaging ranged units. Orcs they have the capability for it, but they're not always guaranteed to bring it, whereas with Empire you're almost guaranteed to get some range support in there. This is just kind of, casual fun one, guys. Tell me if you want more Total War Warhammer on the channel or not, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.